Hey fam, let's talk. Not the cute talk. Not the soft talk. The talk most people avoid because it hurts. Letting go. Sometimes the hardest thing you'll ever do is walk away from something you truly wanted to work. But deep down, you know it's breaking you. Before we dive in, do me a favor. As you listen, if anything I say hits your chest, don't ignore it. That's your spirit trying to get your attention. 1. When you're always explaining yourself, when you constantly have to explain your feelings, your boundaries, your worth, and you're still misunderstood or dismissed, that's not love. That's emotional exhaustion. If you've ever felt drained from over-explaining, tell me in the comments. 2. When your peace becomes a memory, if you sleep with anxiety and wake up with tension, and the relationship or friendship feels louder than your peace, that's a clear sign. 3. When you're the only one trying, when you're the one calling, fixing, apologizing, planning, and it's one-sided, that's not partnership, that's a cycle. And cycles can trap you if you're not careful. 4. When you feel small around them, if you dim your light, shrink your personality, or feel like you're too emotional, too demanding, or too dramatic, you're losing yourself while trying to keep someone else. 5. When love starts feeling like pain. This one is for both men and women. If the love that once lifted you now feels like a burden you carry alone, that's not growth. That's suffering. 6. When you're afraid to voice how you feel. If you think twice before speaking your truth because you fear their reaction, that's not safety. That's fear pretending to be peace. 7. When you're not happy anymore. You know when happiness leaves. When your laughter feels forced, when you find yourself reminiscing about better days more than enjoying the present. That's a sign. 8. When you've outgrown the version of you that needed them, sometimes the person isn't bad. You've just evolved. Who you were then needed them. Who you are now doesn't. 9. When you start losing your identity, if you look at yourself and realize you've compromised so much that you barely recognize who you've become, you've overstayed. 10. When life keeps giving you signs, every fight, every distance, every uncomfortable moment, sometimes it's not punishment, it's direction. It's life whispering, you deserve better. Letting go doesn't mean you stopped loving. It doesn't make you weak. It means you finally chose yourself. And choosing yourself is one of the strongest decisions you'll ever make. If this message touched you, type "I choose myself" in the comments. No explanations needed. And if you're going through something right now, remember this. You are stronger than your pain. You are wiser than your fear, and you deserve a love, a friendship, a life that doesn't make you feel like you're begging to be seen. Before we go further, let me say this. Machiavelli would tell you something most people are afraid to hear. Pain does not mean loyalty. Suffering does not mean strength. And endurance is not always virtue. In his view of human nature, people do not change because you love them harder. They change when the conditions change, when staying costs them something. So when you keep explaining yourself, hoping one day they'll suddenly understand, Machiavelli would say this: if someone benefits from misunderstanding you, clarity will never arrive. Not because you're wrong, but because your exhaustion keeps the balance of power exactly where it is. When your peace becomes a memory, Machiavelli believed that any situation that slowly weakens you while strengthening another is not stability, it is decay. If something steals your sleep, your clarity, your confidence, it is already ruling you. And anything that rules you without giving you peace in return is not love. It's control disguised as connection. When you're the only one trying, here's a hard truth Machiavelli understood deeply. Effort is power. Whoever cares less holds more control. So when you are the one fixing, apologizing, reaching out, holding things together, you are not proving love. You are surrendering leverage. And no relationship survives when one person carries the weight and the other carries comfort. When you feel small around them, Machiavelli warned against environments that force you to diminish yourself to survive. Because once you start shrinking, you stop negotiating as an equal. And any bond that requires you to become less so another can feel more will eventually consume you. When love starts feeling like pain, Machiavelli never believed love should destroy the self. He believed strength must come before attachment. So if love breaks your spirit, drains your energy, or leaves you constantly wounded, that is not devotion. That is attachment to harm. And harm never turns into harmony just because you endure it longer. When you're afraid to voice how you feel, fear is not peace. Machiavelli would say, when silence becomes your survival strategy, you are no longer free. And where there is no freedom, there is no real love-only compliance. When you're not happy anymore, he believed happiness was not constant joy, but alignment. If your inner world is constantly at war while your outer world pretends everything is fine, something is deeply misaligned, and no amount of nostalgia can justify staying in a present that keeps draining you. When you've outgrown the version of you that needed them, Machiavelli understood evolution. He believed clinging to old alliances after you've changed is one of the fastest ways to lose yourself. What once protected you can later limit you. And wisdom is knowing when a chapter has served its purpose. When you start losing your identity, this is critical. Machiavelli warned that losing yourself for acceptance is the most dangerous trade you can make. Because once you abandon who you are, you have nothing left to negotiate with, not even yourself. When life keeps giving you signs, he believed life speaks through resistance. Repeated conflict is not coincidence. Constant discomfort is not bad luck. It is information. And ignoring information does not make it disappear. It makes the lesson harsher. Letting go is not weakness. Machiavelli would say it is strategy. It is knowing when a situation no longer serves your strength, your clarity, or your future. It is choosing self-respect over emotional dependency. And if this message touched you, type, "I choose myself" in the comments. Because choosing yourself is not selfish. It is how power, peace, and self-worth are reclaimed. And remember this, you are not difficult. You are not asking for too much. You are simply asking in the wrong place.